Hey everybody, Luxinda Swirl here. This is really exciting. Got a bunch of new stuff today to try out. We have two new Zuri molds, and I think I have better pictures of them. This is called Mercurial Beast, and when we make it, it will look like this dragon here. I mean, the positive will. This is obviously the negative here. And then this is Medusa with her snakes, and she looks like that in the positive. Okay, there we go. However, that's not the only new thing. The other new thing is what I'm going to be pouring into them, which is a new kind of resin. This is a water-based, eco-friendly, non-solvent inclusive resin material. I don't need to wear a respirator. I don't need to turn on the ventilation system. I can keep on blathering at you through the whole thing. Isn't that exciting? I'm so excited. I will try to restrain myself. I will. But it's really exciting, and it comes in it comes in a whole mess of colors. And the way this is different from epoxy resin, other than the toxicity level and having to wear a respirator and all that, is that it is not a clear product. So I wouldn't probably use this on a tumbler, although I may eventually try it on one just to see what happens. In fact, if you want me to try it on one after watching this demo today, put a comment down below and let me know, and if there's enough interest, I'll give that a shot in a different video. You definitely won't want to use this resin if you want to make a clear coaster where you have some alcohol inks in it, or you have some dried flowers in it, but basically you want to be able to see through and see the glitter in it or whatever you've put in it. This is not the resin for you. This will cure opaque, and it will cure opaque in colors if you get the colored version. I got 3 different ones here. We're going to use 2 of them today. I got Purple Pearl. So this is component A. This is the liquid. This is the powder. You mix them together by weight. So I have my scale over here. We'll pull that over in a minute. You mix them together by weight, and then you pour them in the mold. That part's pretty much the same. And they also send along for the colored ones. There are others. There are stone look, cement look, white stone look, concrete look. Those don't really have colors to them, but they are also opaque, and they look like those products suggest, or those names suggest they might. But for the ones that are colors, they not only send you the color in liquid, but they send you some dusting powder, which I suspect is very much like, or is, a mica powder to dust your mold with, and then you put this on, you pour this in on top. I'm going to use my own micas today. And then the gold has a gold liquid and the powder. And then it has a gold dusting powder that looks much more like gold mica. And the black, the third one I have is the black. That does not get a dusting powder with it. This is just the black liquid and the black powder. The 3 I got that I just showed you are mixed 1 part liquid, again by weight, to 2 parts powder, and you mix it up and you pour it in, and you don't need to wear a respirator. Yay! So first thing I'm going to do is a lot of brushing of micas into my new molds. I will probably not talk during this period. I will probably just speed it up so you can watch the color appear but not get bored to tears by it, and then we will put the tray aside, get out our scale, and get into measuring and mixing the resins. So sit back and enjoy this part of the show. Tap this one off, and then we will start mixing up our brand new eco-friendly, no respirator needed resin. I have my scale. I'm going to use, in spite of the things I've seen on the very, 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 very few YouTube videos I've been able to find regarding this new type of resin, I will link to those below. If you want to watch more after watching this video, hopefully you'll stick around and, subscribe to my channel because I'll be doing more. But if you want to see what other people have done and their instructional videos on using this resin, they have a lot more experience with it than I do, then I will link to those below. Go check them out. I am going to use the gold in Medusa, and then I'll mix up the purple to go into our dragon. And we'll put the black aside for today. Use the black in the next one. Okay, I wanted to use a couple plastic spoons to mix and then to spoon into the mold if I need tiny amounts, although I can also pinch a spout on this one. I'm not sure, nobody explains why they suggest using plastic cups for mixing the resin. They just do. They just say use plastic. But I have, I haven't mixed resin in these paper cups, but I have successfully put it in here and colored it and used it to pour resin. So we'll find out, but I'm going to do this today. So this first thing is sort of a guesstimate. I guess I should get some other molds. So I will have that as an over pour. Okay, here we go. We are going to turn this on, which will tear the cup out, T-A-R-E. Put it at 0. I am going to switch modes. I want to measure this in grams, which is the smallest measurement we can do on here. Neat thing about these liquids, they have a spout so that you don't just accidentally dump a whole bunch out. You have to actually squeeze the bottle to get it out. So I'm thankful for that because we're working in pretty small amounts here. I'm going to start. This is the gold, so for Medusa, I'm going to start with mixing up. I'm going to start by mixing up 45 grams here, which means 30 grams of the powder, 15 grams of the liquid. That may end up being nowhere near enough, in which case I can mix up more. Let's just begin. So this is going to be 30 grams. This could be a lot. Maybe I should go lower than that. Maybe I'll do 20 grams to start of the powder, 20 grams of the powder, and then 10 grams of the liquid. And we'll see what that gets us. Like I said, we can always pour more, or mix more. All right, so tear it out. I want 10 of this. Eight, 9, 10. Alrighty, here we go, our first batch ever. They say to mix thoroughly. They don't tell you like an amount of time. Just mix thoroughly, so we will do that. You have about 15 minutes working time, I believe, once this is mixed up. This is to get the bubbles out, to settle it. One down, one to go. Yeehaw. Purple's up next. I'll be curious to see what we get out of this one. I think this one's going to be a giant mess, but you never know. Well, that was interesting. Okay, folks, we'll be back in 24 hours to see what happens. Stay tuned. And we're back. Okay, so it's not 24 hours later. It's actually more like 72. I sort of got sidetracked yesterday. Before we unmold these, I want to apologize. I have edited the part of the video you just saw where I was doing the pouring, and the light coming in so slanted from the setting sun, since it gets dark so early this time of year, it makes it a lot easier for me to see what I'm doing, but now I can tell very clearly from watching the previous video footage that it makes it hard to see from your perspective, and I apologize for that. I will try and do better in the future and not let the light come glaring in from the side like it did. So, all that aside, let us see what we ended up with. This is our gold Medusa. I'm really excited to see how the chrome micas look on this resin. Oh, look at her. Isn't she beautiful? Let's see if I can get you a focused. I say let's see if I can do that every time. One of these days I'll be more confident about it. She is beautiful. There's a little bit of sparkle. I don't know if that comes through in your perspective or not. This is kind of interesting. This is how the black looks on this gold resin. This gold resin. This is black chrome. And this is green mica. I mean, it's almost a teal, but this looks black to me. In fact, this looks blacker than the actual black. And the two lighter greens are almost indistinguishable. They look green, but they look the same as each other. These were two different greens when I painted them in. And this was a green also, but it like I said, it looks black. Flashing is easy to take care of as long as you're careful not to bust the actual pieces. But that comes off pretty easily. So her gold face has a tiny bit of sparkle to it. I'm not as crazy about, I was really hoping for the green to work better. So that's this black stuff here that should be a green snake it's a tiny bit disappointing. Not horrible, just a tiny bit. This is silver, and then the gold looks great because it's on a gold base. And the black is kind of odd. What I need to get a hold of is a bunch of different colored wax pastes so that I can pump these up. So I've got the gold, I can use the gold rub and buff, and I've got silver, I can use the silver rub and buff. I do not have a black, and I do not have a green, and I do not have a deep green. So clearly, if I want to keep doing this way, I should probably look into that. All in all, I'm very pleased with how this looks. She's quite striking. Don't look at her too long, though. Of course, you know how that ends. It doesn't go well. Let's look at our purple dragon. Now, these were all purples and silver that I painted on here, so let's see if this came out a little less surprising than Medusa did. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness, I love this. Isn't that striking? Look at that. Oh, but it's beautiful, especially the shiny bits down here. It didn't do that on all the neck diamond spots, but it did that on all the tail diamond spots. That is beautiful. Oh, I love this. Okay, so clearly brushing on the color that the base is, even variants of it, 2 different purples, that works beautifully, and the gold here works beautifully. Other colors, you may end up with different things. Okay, and just out of curiosity, you watched me make a total hatchet job of this. I was trying to smooth things out and not have too much overflow, and I have a lot to learn. I thought this would be easy based on what I'd seen in other YouTube videos in terms of just pouring it in, and this stuff started to set up on me way faster than some of the other videos I've watched where they seem to have a lot more time. Either that or it took me a lot longer than I thought it would to mix second batches of things. Ooh, yeah, that's okay. Oh, well, that's not, actually, no, I did just break one of them. Let's see if I can be a bit more careful here. There we go. Okay, so that can break apart. So these are all right. All right, let's keep going. Now this one is a combo of clear resin with some sparkle in it and then the purple on top. Yeah, so that ended up kind of weird looking. There's nothing wrong with it. I can use rub and buff over any of these or the wax pastes of any kind and spice things up. It's interesting. I'm not as crazy about it in these small molds as I am here with these bigger ones. This is really impressive. I'm going to call this one done for today because I just wanted to see how these 2 pieces turned out. Thanks everyone. Let me know what you think. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.